Hello, welcome to Business. My name is Darryl Kwao. Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta is leading a government delegation to the annual IMF World Bank spring meeting in Washington, D.C. The meetings, which opened in the U.S. on Monday, bring together 189 member countries of the IMF to discuss issues of global concern, including the world economic outlook, poverty eradication, economic development, and aid effectiveness. But what will be up for discussions this time around after Ghana recently completed its program with the fund? George Rafi has more from Washington, D.C.
The spring meeting is bringing together 189 finance ministers and central bank governors around the world whose countries are members of the fund to assemble in Washington, D.C. in U.S. These ministers and governors will be looking at how to minimize any shocks to the global economy. Even though Ghana just completed the 4-year program with the fund, it is still a member of the IMF. And meetings like this will always offer it an opportunity to engage the fund on some technical support programs, as well as meet heads of some bilateral institutions at these meetings. While Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta will do a lot more engagement with the World Bank, Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Ernest Addison, on the other hand, will lead meetings with the IMF. A later development, the IMF will later today release its Economic Outlook report. This will tell us whether the fund is also bullish about the prospects for the economy in terms of economic growth for this year. This was after the World Bank projected a 7.6% growth rate for us this year, slightly higher than the government's own 7% overall economic growth rate for 2019.
Well, here in Ghana, about 40 small and medium-scale enterprises have been selected by the Export Promotion Authority to take part in the Maiden Trade for Sustainable Development Hub program. Launching the program in Accra, Deputy Trade Minister Carlos Ahenkra reiterated government's support for SMEs.
As Ghana races to become an export-led economy in the medium to long term, the Ghana Export Promotion Authority, GEPA, is engaging SMEs and local manufacturing firms on best ways to increasing output and meeting international standards. The launch of the Trade for Sustainable Development Hub is to build the capacity and knowledge of SMEs to implement green business practices. Here's Deputy Trade Minister Carlos Ahenkra.
When women get to put their minds to doing things, it becomes very sustainable. And I believe there's a challenge to these days business community to ensure that we have more women in entrepreneurship.
Meanwhile, team lead for the Ghana project, Ebenezer Kumi, has been explaining to Joy Business what this means.
You would have improved on your green business practices. You would have become more eco-friendly and more leaning towards green. So you would have integrated key sustainability practices into your operation. And this ultimately is supposed to give you markets and also help you to access finance and improve on your innovation.
GEPA will receive comprehensive support from the United Nations on this program, which will last 24 months.
Now, although they remain in the minority in the boardroom and face significant challenges, women are beginning to make significant strides in managerial positions and the corporate world across the globe. But are they duly recognized? Chief Executive of lifestyle magazine Glitz Africa, Claudia Lumo, says the contribution of women in the business landscape must be celebrated.
Here in Ghana, roles seen as a preserve for men are gradually being taken up by women. For instance, the position of Chief Justice has consecutively been occupied by women in recent times. A recent study by the MasterCard Index of Women Entrepreneurs showed that of the 57 different economies examined around the globe, Ghana ranked the highest, with almost half of the businesses in the country owned by women. However, there exist some challenges such as access to resources and opportunities to progress despite gender-related and cultural biases that hinder them from advancing in the workplace. The Glitz Ghana Women of the Year honors, organized by the Glitz magazine Africa, is an event set aside to celebrate the achievement of outstanding Ghanaian women to the society. Chief Executive Claudia Lumor explains that women should be acknowledged more for their achievements as a motivation to strive further.
I would say it's gotten better, but there's still a lot that has to be done because unfortunately this world is still built for a man. And you know, I was speaking somewhere, they said that, oh, like now a lot of the companies they have female CEOs, and we were saying that, oh, this is really great. And I said, why is this such an issue now? We don't want to be like the icing on the cake or just get one woman to sit on the board and it's okay. We don't want that. We want to be called to the table because we deserve to sit at the table. We want to sit at the table and we want to be recognized as people and not because we want to be, we have to be added to something for statistic basis.
The Ghana Women of the Year honors, which is slated for the 11th to the 13th of April, will be climaxed with an awards night where 9 women from various industries will be acknowledged. For Joy Business, Karen Dudu.
And there's plenty more to come at the top of the hour on the marketplace. That's it for business. My name is Daryl. Back to you, Daniel.
Thanks, Daryl, for that bulletin, and great suits, by the way. I really enjoyed that. Executive Director of Dreams FC has outlined his club's achievements in the last decade as they celebrate 10 years of existence. Benedict also is next with the details in sports.